on, get the move.
My antenna's out. Right.
And now we're ready to hook up the LEC here. Alright, that should go down. They with no twists now. Put the bag out this way. That's even. Hey, you hooked up to it?
Okay, now we need to hook this.
Yeah, move that up there.
Six. Okay, your visor.
Yeah. Look at your back is up against the perch. Right now it's on top of the disky. Forward and up. Now you're clear. A little bit toward me. Straight down. Your left a little bit. Plenty of room. You're lined up nicely. Toward me a little bit. Down. Okay, now you're clear. You're catching the first hinge often.
The what hinge?
All right, move. Your roll to the left. Okay, now you're clear. You're lined up on the platform. Move your left foot to the right a little bit. Okay, that's good. Roll left. Good.
Okay, now I'm going to check GPS here.
Okay, you're not quite squared away. Hold to the right a little. Now you're even.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's good. Got plenty of room to your left. It's a little close on the back.
How am I doing?
You're doing fine. Okay, you want this bag?
Yep. Got it. Okay, Houston, I'm on the porch.
Roger, Neil. Okay, stand by, Neil.
Columbia, Columbia, this is Houston, 1 minute 30 seconds to LOS, all systems go, over.
Hold the way there a minute, Neil.
Okay. Get a little slack?
Neil Armstrong on the porch at 109 hours, 19 minutes, 16 seconds.
You need more slack, bud?
No, hold it just a minute.
Okay.
25 minutes of PLSS time expended now.
Okay, everything's nice and straight in here.
Okay, can you pull the door open a little more?
Right?
Okay.
Did you get the main sound?
I'm going to pull it now. Houston, the Mesa came down, all right.
Houston, roger, we copy and we're standing by for your TEV.
Houston, this is Neil, radio check.
Neil, this is Houston, loud and clear. Break, break, Buzz, this is Houston, radio check and verify TV circuit breaker in.
Roger, TV circuit breakers in. Reach loud and clear.
Roger. And we're getting a picture on the TV.
You got a good picture, huh?
There's a great deal of contrast in it, and currently it's upside down on our monitor, but we can make out a fair amount of detail.
Okay, would you verify the position, the opening I ought to have on the camera?
Stand by. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
Neil, we can see you coming. Okay, I just checked getting back up to that first step. That isn't collapsed too far, but it's adequate to get back up.
Roger, we copy.
It's a pretty good little jump.
Buzz, this is Houston. F2,
I'm at the
1/160th second for shadow photography on the sequence camera.
Okay.
I'm at the foot of the ladder. The LEM footbeds are only depressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches, although the surface appears to be very, very fine-grained as you get close to it. It's almost like a powder. Ground mass is very fine. I'm going to step off the LEM now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. As the surface is fine and powdery, I can pick it up loosely with my toe. It does adhere in fine layers, like powdered charcoal, to the sole and sides of my boot. I only go in a small fraction of an inch, maybe an eighth of an inch, but I can see the footprints of my boots and the treads in the fine sandy particles.
Neil, this is Houston. We're copying.
There seems to be be no difficulty in moving around as we suspected. It's even perhaps easier than the simulations of 16G that we performed in various simulations on the ground. Absolutely no trouble to walk around. Okay, the descent engine did not leave a crater of any size. It has about 1 foot clearance on the ground. We're essentially on a very level place here. I can see some evidence of rays emanating from the descent engine, but very insignificant amount. Okay, Buzz, we ready to bring down the camera?
I'm all ready. I think it's 2 miles squared away in good shape.
Okay.
Okay, you'll have to pay out all the LEC. Now, it looks like it's coming out nice and evenly.
Okay, it's quite dark here in the shadow and a little hard for me to see that I have good footing. I'll work my way over into the sunlight here without looking directly into the sun.
Okay, it's taut now.
Unofficial time on the first step, 109.2420.
Okay, I think you're pulling the wrong one.
I'm ready to pull it down now. There was still a little bit left in the...
Okay, don't hold it quite so tight. Okay? Okay.
Looking up at the limb, I'm standing directly in the shadow now, looking up at Buzz in the windows. And I can see everything quite clearly. The light is sufficiently bright, backlighted into the front of the limb, that everything is very clearly visible.
Okay, I'm going to be changing the...
Okay.
Surgeon says that...
Camera installed on the RCU bracket.
Surgeon says the crew is doing well. Data is good, crew is doing well.
And I'm still in the LEC on the secondary struts. I'll step out and take some of my first pictures here.
Roger, Neil. We're reading you loud and clear. Let's see, getting some pictures and the contingency sample.
35.5 minutes of PLSS time expended now.
Neil, this is Houston. Did you copy about the contingency sample? Over.
All right, you're going to get to that just as soon as I finish these picture series.
Okay, gonna get the contingency sample there in here?
All right.
Okay, that's good. Okay, the contingency sample is down and it's up sample. Like it's a little difficult to dig through the initial crust.
Very interesting. It's a very soft surface, but here and there where I plug with the contingency sample collector, I run into very hard surface, but it appears to be very cohesive material of the same sort. I'll try to get a rock in here. Just a couple.
Oh, that looks beautiful from here, Neil.
It has a stark beauty all its own. It's like much of the high desert of the United States. It's different, but it's very pretty out here. Be advised that a lot of the rock samples out here, the hard rock samples, have what appear to be vesicles in the surface. Also, I'm looking at one now that appears to have some sort of phenocryst.
Houston, roger out.
Okay, the handle is off the it pushes in about 5 easy to...
It is. It's, I'm sure I could push it in farther, but it's hard for me to bend down farther than that.
Didn't know you could throw so far.
You can really throw things a long way up here. My pocket open, Buzz?
Yes, it is. It's not up against your suit, though. Hit it back once more. Or more toward the inside. Okay, that's good.
That in the pocket?
Yeah, push down. Got it? No, it's not all the way in. Push it. There you go.
Engine sample is in the pocket. My oxygen is 81%. I have no flags, and I'm in minimum flow.
This is Houston, Roger, Neil.
Okay, I got the camera going at 1 frame a second.
Okay.
And I've got 80%, no flags. Good.
Are you getting a TV picture now, Houston?
Neil, yes, we are getting a TV picture. Neil, this is Houston. We're getting a picture. You're not in at the present time. We can see the bag on the LEC being moved by Buzz, though. Here you come into our field of view.
Oh, so first let me move that over the edge for you.
Okay, ready for me to come out?
Yeah, just stand by a second. I'll move this over the handrail. Okay.
All right, that's got it. Are you ready?
All set. Okay, you saw what difficulties I was having. I'll try to watch your bliss from underneath here.
All right, the backup camera is position.
Okay, your bliss looks like it's clear and okay. The toes are about to come over the sill. Okay, now drop your bliss down. There you go, you're clear. And laterally you're good. Got an inch clearance on top of your bliss.
Okay, you need a little bit of arching of the back to come down. How far are my feet from the...
Okay, you're right at the edge of the porch.
Okay. Back in from... Small little foot movement. Porch. Arching of the back. Moment comes up and clears the bulkhead without any trouble at all.
Looks good.
45 minutes PLSS time expended.
Neil, this is Houston. Based on your camera transfer with the LEC, do you foresee any difficulties in SRC transfer over?
Negative.
That's the sample return containers, the rock boxes that Capcom...
I want to back up and partially close the hatch. Making sure not to lock it on my way out.
Particularly good thought.
That's our home for the next couple hours. We want to take good care of it. Okay, I'm on the top step and I can look down over the RCU and landing gear pad. It's a very simple matter to hop down from one step to the next.
Yes, I found it to be very comfortable, and walking is also very comfortable. You've got 3 more steps and then a long one.
Okay, I'm going to leave that 1 foot up there and both hands down to about the 4th rung up.
There you go.
Okay, now I think I'll do the same.
A little more. About another inch. There, you got it?
That's a good step.
Yep. About a 3-footer.
Beautiful view.
Isn't that something? Magnificent sight out here.
Magnificent desolation.
Both PLSS is nominal on consumables.
Looks like the secondary strut have little thermal effects on it right here, Neil.
Yeah, I noticed that. Seems to be the worst, although similar effects are on all around.
There is very, very fine powder,
Isn't it fine?
right in this area. I don't think there's much of any but fine powder. Some clouds together, and it's hard to tell whether it's a clod or a rock.
Notice how you can pick it up.
Yeah, and it bounces and then reaching down, fairly easy. Got my suit dirty at this stage. The mass of the backpack does have some effect in inertia. There's a slight tendency I can see now to backwards due to the soft, very soft texture.
Oh, you're standing on a rock, big rock there now.
Yeah, it sure didn't.
No, it didn't.
But absolute no crater there at all from the engine.
No.
I wonder if that right under the engine is where probe might have. I'd like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good representation of our sideward velocity at touchdown. That folded the probe.
I'll see that probe over on the minus Y strut. Broken off and bent back up.
That did, didn't it? The other two both bent over.
Can't say too much for the visibility right here without the visor up. Pretty dark. It looks like there's a surface of a flat bounded rock. And incidentally, these rocks, very powdery surface.
Say again, please, Buzz. You're cutting out.
And here's some...
I say that the rocks are rather slippery.
Roger.
Very powdery surface. When it's on there, it fill up all the very little fine porises. They'll tend to slide over it rather easily.
Neil Armstrong getting ready to move the TV camera now out to its panorama position.
Traction seems quite good. Particular area. Start to lose my balance in one direction, and recovery is quite natural and very easy. And moving arms around, Jack doesn't go off the surface. Not quite that light-footed.
And I have the insulation off the mesa now. The mesa seems to be in good shape.
You have to be careful that you're leaning in the direction you want to go, otherwise you slightly inebriate. In other words, you have to cross your foot over to stay underneath where your center of mass is. Hey Neil, didn't I say we might see some purple rocks?
Find the purple rock?
Yep. Very small, sparkly fragments are the rock. They reflect the sun in places. That would make a first guess at some sort of biotite. We'll leave that to the further analysis. But soil compacts underneath. Completely no. You don't sink down more than a quarter of an inch.
Biotite is a brown mica substance.
Okay, Houston, I'm going to change lenses on you.
Roger, Neil.
Life support consumables still looking good.
Okay, Houston, tell me if get a new picture.
Neil, this is Houston. That's affirmative. We're getting a new picture. You can tell it's a longer focal length lens. And for your information, all LEM systems are go. Over.
Information, all LEM. I appreciate that. Thank you. Is now unveiling the plaque that is.
Roger, we got you bore-sighted, but back to one side.
Bore-sighted.
For those who haven't read the plaque, we'll read the plaque that's on the front landing gear of this LEM. There's two hemispheres, one showing each of the two hemispheres of Earth. Underneath it says, "Here men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon, July 1969 AD. We came in peace for all mankind." It has the crew members' signatures and the signature of the President of the United States. Ready for the camera? I'll get it.
There, you're taking the TV on now.
Touch the LEC there.
I'm afraid these soft materials are going to get dusty. The surface material, powdery. I don't know how good your lens is, but if you can touches like gloves. Very much like a very finely powdered carbon, but pretty pretty looking.
You pull out some of my cable for me, please.
Houston, how close are you able to get things in focus?
This is Houston. We can see Buzz's right hand. It's somewhat out of focus. I'd say we were focusing down to probably about 8 inches to a foot behind the position of his hand when he was pulling out the cable.
Okay, how's the temperature look on there?
Temperature of the camera is showing cold.
I'm a little cool. I think I'll change. Oh. I'm on intermediate now, Houston, and I show 3.78. No flags, 74.
Houston, roger out.
And we'll probably need a little distance at Back location. Television camera. And Neil, it look at the minus Y strip. The direction of travel there. Traveling from right to left.
Right.
So this one over here underneath the SN engine where the probe first hit. Minus my probe first hit.
I got plenty of cable.
You got plenty more. Okay, I think I got the end of it.
Something interesting in the bottom of this little crater here. It maybe.
Keep going. We got a lot more.
Okay.
Getting a little harder to pull out here.
If you stand on the ladder facing forward, the minus Y strut is the landing gear to your left.
Say I am, Buzz.
40, 50 feet. Why don't you turn around and let them get a view from there and
Okay.
see what the field of view looks like. You're backing into the cable.
Okay.
Turn around to your right, be better.
I don't want to go into the sun if I can avoid it.
That's right, yeah.
I'll just leave it.
All right, let it
Sit
sit
like that and walk around it.
Houston, how's that field of view going to be? Pick up the mesa far away?
Right. Neil, this is Houston. The field of view is okay. We'd like you to aim it a little bit more to the right, over.
Okay.
Okay, that's all the cable we have. All the way out. I'll start working on the shoulder.
A little bit too much to the right. Can you bring it back left about 4 or 5 degrees? Okay, that looks good, Neil.
Hey, that looks good, Neil.
Okay, now, think I ought to be farther away or closer?
Can't get too much further away.
Let's try it like that for a while. I'll get a couple panoramas with it here.
Roger, you look okay as far as distance goes, Neil, and we'll line you up again when you finish the panorama. You're going too fast on the panorama sweep. You're going to have to stop for...
I haven't stopped. I haven't set it down yet. That's the first picture in the panorama. Right there.
Roger.
It's taken just about northeast. Tell me if you got a picture, Houston.
Well, we've got a beautiful picture, Neil.
Okay, I'm going to move it.
Okay, there's another good one. Okay, we got that one.
Okay, now this one's right down sun, straight west, and I want to know if you can see an angular rock in the foreground.
Roger, we have a
Picking
large
up,
angular rock
soil.
in the foreground, and looks like a much smaller rock a couple of inches to the left of it, over.
Right, and then on beyond it about 10 feet is an even larger rock that's very rounded. That rock is about, the closest one to you is about sticking out of the sand about 1 foot, and it's about 1.5 feet long, and it's about 6 inches thick, but it's standing on edge.
Roger.
Okay, Neil, I've got the table out. Got a bag deployed.
We got this view, Neil.
Straight south.
Roger, and we see the shadow of the limb.
In the hills, Roger, the little hills just beyond the shadow of the limb is a pair of elongate craters. About probably the pair together is 40 feet long and 20 feet across, and they're probably 6 feet deep. We'll probably get some more work in there later.
Roger, and we see Buzz going about his work.
How's that for a final?
For a final orientation, we'd like it to come left about 5 degrees, over. Back to the right about half as much.
Okay.
Okay, that looks good there, Neil.
Yeah, that looks good there. Okay.
One hour, 7 minutes time expended.
Okay, you can make a mark, Houston.
Roger, hello, and
incidentally, you can use the shadow that the staff makes to assist you in getting it perpendicular.
Buzz is erecting the solar wind experiment now.
Some of these small depressions get soft, and you tend to think, oh, maybe 2 or 3 inches. I can suggest exactly what the layer pictures showed when they pushed away a little bit. You can force transmitted through the upper surface of the soil, and about 5 or 6 inches away, it breaks loose and moves as if it were caked on the surface, when in fact it really isn't.
I noticed in the soft spots where we have footprints nearly an inch deep that the soil is very cohesive, and it will retain a slope of probably 70 degrees on the side of the footprint.
All limb systems still looking good.
Okay? Yeah, I think that's next. Dead end, come on. All right, get the camera. That part. Go out here with them. Head up to the rock here. You'll have to extend that one.
Columbia, Columbia, this is Houston, ALS, over.
Houston, ALS, over.
Neil Armstrong's been on the lunar surface now almost 45 minutes.
Thanks, man. I don't have camera. Columbia on the high gain, over.
Columbia, this is Houston, reading you loud and clear, over.
Yeah, this is Houston reading. Yeah, reading you loud and clear. How's it going?
Roger, the EVA is progressing beautifully. I believe they're setting up the flag now.
Great.
I guess you're about the only person around that doesn't have TV coverage of the scene.
That's all right, I don't mind a bit. How is the quality of the TV?
Oh, it's beautiful, Mike. It really is.
Oh, geez, that's great. Is the lighting halfway decent?
Yes, indeed. They've got the flag up now, and you can see the stars and stripes on the lunar surface.
Up now, and you can see the stars and stripes on the lunar surface. Beautiful, just beautiful. See if you can pull that end off a little bit. Tighten that end up a little. It won't go out. Okay.
Neil, this is Houston, radio check, over.